And welcome back. We're here at Armstrong and Small Eye Care Center for another episode of Eye Break. I'm Dr. Small.
Dr. Lepage.
And we're going to talk a little bit today about ocular nutrition, eye foods.
Yum.
And so specifically one of the things with that we want to talk about ocular nutrition, and we get a lot of questions about this, is if someone has a lot of different eye diseases, whether that might be glaucoma or cataracts or something like that, should they be taking specific foods or eating specific foods or having specific vitamins that could help that. And when we talk about ocular nutrition, we're really focusing in on macular degeneration.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the big things is that a lot of these studies came out of two big studies. There's actually two parts.
What
and
studies are those?
Those are called the ARID studies, the
age-related eye disease studies, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. And based off of those studies, they studied a lot of people with different placebo and then also giving them certain nutrients to see if we could actually slow down the process.
What they show?
I think the biggest thing is that when they were studying these people, there's 4 different stages, and a lot of different doctors might decide to prescribe whether you're in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or stage 4. But all of the ARID study was on stage 3 and 4. So that's definitely a more advanced macular degeneration version. However, you can probably see 10 of us, and 5 of us might say, yeah, even with one reason, we want you to take these ocular vitamins, and others,
such as Vitalux Advanced, or the similar chewable, for those that don't like swallowing these horse pills. They're not bad, but they are a little bit large, and you got to take 2 per day. Some people don't enjoy swallowing them, so we make a chewable version of this. But yeah.
So you can imagine if you're in your early stages, right? If you're stage 1 and stage 2, we have less proof that they're going to actually help. But some doctors might say it can't hurt.
Is it better than nothing, but is it an unwarranted expense? I don't know how much these are specifically. They'll vary a little bit, but if it's not proven by these studies to actually slow down early stage progression, you could make a case for or against them as to whether you take it in early stages or not.
Absolutely. And so a lot of times I'll actually ask my patients in terms of their diet. So then we get into the diet. And we have a great little book here that we actually sell at Armstrong and Small Eye Care Center. We also have the kids version called Eye Foods. So there's 2 optometrists actually, who wrote this, Dr. Barber and Dr. Lori, and much smarter than Matt and I, who got into the information and trying to figure out exactly what would be the best foods for you to ingest to slow down the progress of your macular degeneration. I've met Dr. Lori. She's a great optometrist, really involved with a lot of the research on this. At her practice in Niagara on the Lake, you go in and there's actually a smoothie machine in the front. And part of the reason for that is because she has a specific device that can measure the amount of pigment at your macula in a very special spot at the back. Once we know what kind of pigment you have, she can actually say you should be ingesting these types of foods. Well, that's a very high-end type of procedure, and ideally we want to tell people, sort of give them a good idea or reference in terms of what they should be eating to maintain. So some specific examples of eye foods that we like to talk to our patients about.
So leafy green vegetables, spinach, kale, throw them in your morning smoothie, and you don't even notice them. I'm not a huge fan of them on their own, but mix them in with some tasty stuff and they're good. Orange peppers, 2 of them per week they say, raw or cooked. Your cold water fish, so whether that's if you're going for sushi, salmon on the barbecue at home, whatever you like.
Trying to get a couple servings of that per week.
Absolutely.
Ideally.
Yep. And then eggs, they say 4 per week if you can. Build that into your diet. The yolks are good, so I know maybe some other health sources may say egg whites are better, but yolk is good for the eyes.
And I think a lot of that comes back to lutein. We get a lot of questions about lutein. Lutein is found in some of the things he was just talking about. But lutein on its own, which is sold in lots of different stores, has less studies showing on its own how effective it is at slowing down the progression of macular degeneration. So it's really in a combination with multiple of these type of vitamins that we recommend that it becomes more valuable and works better according to the studies.
Package. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last thing that we'd like to mention is for patients who are here in Canada, Vitalux is only available in Canada. So if you're a snowbird, be sure to stock up, bring it down with you. There's other versions that are available in terms of also here in Preservision, eye caps, things like that. I think the toughest part with any vitamins is that they don't have to prove exactly what is in their supplement. However, Vitalux is made by a company called Novartis. Novartis is a pharmaceutical company, and then we know exactly what is in it. That's why we recommend it.
That, and then also just a side note with these, taking them with a fatty meal, so whether that's your bacon and eggs in the morning, a ham sandwich at lunch, whatever it may be, will make it a little bit easier on your system. Taking them on an empty stomach potentially could kind of cause a gassy indigestion feeling a bit. So taking them with a meal will make it a little bit easier. So yeah, what I try to tell my patients is we can't reverse any damage. You can't rewind at all, but you're just trying to hit pause here, prevent any future changes from occurring. The best way to do that, again, diet, exercise, supplements if need be, UV protection, active lifestyle.
No smoking.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke. Be wise. Take care of your eyes. Thanks for joining us again. Thanks for joining us again here at Armstrong Small Eye Care Center. Join us for the next version of Eye Break, which will be wet macular degeneration.